Hello everyone, back to do this week, and I'm so excited because I have been living off of a post-it note. It's actually Wednesday today because on Monday, well, I usually don't do these on Monday, and I wasn't thinking ahead, and yesterday I had to go in for a service appointment for my car, and it's quite a drive, actually. It's a 45 miles or so, and like I said, when we usually make those drives, we kind of turn it into an event. So I ended up meeting my husband for coffee while I was down there, and so I was gone for a few hours, and I kind of had to work in the morning since it was $2 Tuesday, and I wanted to get all of that up. So I'm here today, and I have some extra time, and I'm just now realizing that I'm kind of farther away than I normally am, and I'm not so sure I like it. But we continue. I can always change it later on, but hopefully I stay in frame today. I'm doing the same thing I was last week, just because I really like that style, and it seems like I've had some really good feedback on it, and I like it. I'm enjoying it, so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm using another Crayola marker today. I tried to find a Tombow just because they have a wider line, but I just didn't have a color that matched it. I don't know the word for it, but it kind of stinks because I bought the whole line of the little packs of Tombow markers at Michael's, like the 10 packs. And it turns out when you get those, you don't get the whole line of markers, which I kind of figured. I knew it would kind of be like how you can't get all of the Copics at Michael's. But I did expect to come kind of close, especially since they have 10 packs there. And I thought, well, you're getting a blender and stuff like that in each one. But I didn't expect the colors to overlap as much as they did. So I have all 10 packs now, and I have about 60 out of the 96 colors. I have 10 of the blenders, and I have 18, I think, duplicates. Some of them I have more than one. There's like an orange color that I have 2 of. I have 3 black, and then I think I also have 3 of one of the darker grays. So I'm trying to hold back and not buy the whole 96 pack of them. But for today, I'm using this marker. It seems like it's a little greener in the cap, but I swatched it and it seemed to be pretty close. Okay, so I found these hydrates, and I'm going to do something kind of fun with those. Because a lot of you know that over the weekend we put in our new deck, which we have been thoroughly enjoying, but we also found out that during that process that we didn't have nearly as much grass as we thought we did. There's actually a lot of dirt under there. It looks like someone actually built a deck here previously and then tore it down and then just tried to put a lawn over it but didn't take care of all of the gravel and everything. So now we're trying to fix that. Monday, I had to make a couple of calls. I think I'm going this color, because I noticed, like when I got my confirmation email, I was missing a couple of things in my service that I needed. So I needed to call them. I needed to go to Lowe's to check out some prices on paving stones for a grill that we wanted to get. We also wanted to install the air conditioner because it's getting kind of warm here, and we have very, very large windows in our home, and it just kind of bakes us all day. We have 2 windows that are like 70, they're like 96 inches wide, and I forget how tall they are, but they're really huge. And then I wanted to clean car mats that we found in the shed this weekend, because I want those. My husband, when he got his car, his came with the WeatherTech floor mats, and mine only have the like the standard fuzzy one. So I wanted to take those. They're actually from his old vehicle, and we didn't even know we saved them. So I was really excited to find them in the shed. But I had to wash those because they had a lot of dirt on them. And then also, actually I'm going to save those for Tuesday. For Monday we started to water the yard that we put in. Actually, yeah, I took the wrong color in that. But since we put down some new like topsoil, and we put down grass seed, and now we're in the process of watering it twice a day for who knows how long. I think it's like 3 weeks or something that we're supposed to do that. Oh, I want to leave a bit of a break there. I'm going to skip that. Line it up here and just drop it. And since there are 8 dots, I'm going to kind of try to cover up one. I don't want to rip its little stem, and it's sticking to my finger. But I'm just going to put that down, and then water grass. Actually, I forgot to take this thing out of here. That's why I'm struggling with it. What am I thinking? Okay, so I'm going to, well, water grass is wildly generous. Just gonna put water lawn, what's left of it. And remembered that on Monday we watered it twice. Yesterday it rained all day. Still have to do it today. I'm gonna cross these off while I'm here. And then since I knew that Tuesday was going to be kind of a busy day, I worked on my $2 Tuesday that day. And I just wanted to work on, I had everything set up, but I wanted to make sure that I did the listing, make sure that they were ready to go so I could just activate it. I'm just going to use this little road. And I met my husband for coffee. We just went to Dunkin' Donuts because we are on a serious no spend right now. And then I had my service appointment, I put 1 year, at 3:45. So while I was there, I did work on some drawings. To do some design stuff. I've really been loving like the gardening stickers, so I actually drew more of those while I was there, but like I was saying, they were so quick. I couldn't believe how efficient they worked while I was there. But yeah, it was nice. They got me out right at I think it was 4:45. So it gave me time to get out, get on the road, and kind of miss all of the chaos around Burlington when people were getting out of work. So that I appreciated. So I'm just writing down gardening because I worked on those stickers. And then I worked on trying to do some fun kind of, I call them layering stickers. And then I also worked on some self-care stickers. I'm not loving my handwriting today. Not sure why. Just seems like it's acting a little wonky. It could be all of the stickers and stuff underneath. I think it might be that one. So last night we also decided to make one of our fancy dinners at home. Well, that kind of does look kind of paint swatchy, I guess. So we did our fancy dinner, and it was a stuffed chicken, and it actually ended up really good. I'm just writing fancy dinner because it's more of like a memory keeping thing at this point. And I've been tracking that because I've been doing, I don't know, it's kind of like a scrapbook, but it's also, like, they call it a junk journal. I've been doing something like that in my traveler's notebook, and I'm not very good at it, but I'm trying, and I'm trying to keep track of all of the new things that we're trying, and just kind of experiences over the summer. So that's what I've been up to there. But today I did want to do a bunch of swatches. Sorry if you heard that. I had a hiccup. It's actually kind of a quieter one for me. Usually when I have the hiccups I sound like a squeaky toy. I wish I was kidding. I'm really not. I can actually startle some people in stores. So there's a funny thing you didn't know about me. But I wanted to do swatch tests in different planners, specifically this one, just because I get a lot of questions about what bleeds through and what doesn't. So I wanted to go through my markers and my pens, but I wanted to go through some artist materials as well, because I know using some of these markers and stuff, it can be kind of worrisome about what's going to go through, and I wanted to have that information not only for me, but for anyone who asked about it. We can see, I tried all of these pens, and none of them bled through the paper. I tried these Crayola Super Tips, and again, nothing bled through. And if you see that orange, it's just from me trying the Jelly Roll. The only thing that did bleed through, these are the Jane Davenport watercolor markers, but the only thing that bled through were the Copics and the Bic Permanents. So there's a lot of markers that you can use on here, and I was actually really surprised by it. So that's what I've been up to in part. And then I made tea over the weekend, and it was really, really good. We've been trying to find a really good a sweet tea recipe, just because we really like it. And we buy tea in stores, and it's not the same. It's either always too sweet, or it's a little bitter. We don't like the flavors or something. So we've been trying to find some tea and a tea recipe that we like, so that we can make tea at home, and we can use the teas that we buy. We can have the flavors that we want, and we can have the sweetness that we want, and we can add our flavors in our coffee station and stuff like that. So I think I finally found a really good recipe, and I'm so excited, we both are, to finally have something that we can do whatever we want with. We have the base recipe, and I did it. So I wrote down the recipe, because as much as I love my husband, he never writes down anything. So once you have it, you have to hope that he remembers it, or he told me, or me telling him to write it down actually stuck, because it does not happen as often as you might hope. But I try to kind of follow him around when he's trying something new, and just, I don't know. Actually, I'm not going to do that because there's a lot of blue. And just make sure that I'm writing it down. But I wanted to do some, non-business related craft time. I realized that we're going to have a movie night, so I wanted to grab those. I wanted to find because I have these as well. But we were watching a TV show or a movie the other night, and I'm trying to think of what it was, but it showed, we were cooking dinner, and it was The Longest Yard on TV, and they showed a clip of them watching Short Circuit, and my husband was like, oh my goodness, what is that? It looks like a WALL-E, it looks like kind of the non-animated WALL-E, and I remember that movie from when I was younger, and I had to remember what the name was, but it's Short Circuit, and I remember, like, my parents telling me about that movie, and they're like, you have to watch it, because it came out before I was born. But I remember, like, my brother and I really liked it. We saw I think there's more than 2, but we watched 2. So if there is more, we'll have to try to find it. But I know the first 2, and I'm kind of excited to watch them again. And I'm hoping it lives up to that kind of expectation I have in my head, because sometimes when I recommend a movie to my husband, I'm like, oh my goodness, we should watch that. It was so funny when I was little, and it's so weird when we watched it again. I'm like, okay, maybe that wasn't the movie that I thought it was, but it's still fun. It's still kind of interesting to reminisce over the movies that we used to watch when we were little. I'm not even sure if you can read that on camera, but I used the Prismacolor and 0.05. But that'll be fun. I look forward to watching that with them, even if it is not what I remember it being. And then on Thursday, I want to work on some new releases. And again, I want to go through my sticker book because I don't want to use that color. I feel like I love that color, but I feel like I'm using too much of it. So I'm going to pull out these and use the gray one to just kind of break up the color. I feel like it's too much. And kind of just do a basic work header. And I made it longer because I'm not really sure where I want to put it. Yeah, I think we're gonna put it a little crooked here. I like doing things just slightly askew sometimes. I think it's just more interesting. But I want to design. I want to take some of the things that I've drawn and do some design work. I want to edit some of the photos that I've taken for Instagram and stuff. I've tried to be better about that. And I want to make sure that I'm getting my midweek spreads ready, because especially sometimes I plan, but I fill in what I know. And you can see there are, maybe not in this spread, but occasionally I leave some empty spaces, and I just like to put a memory in there, and I don't know, just kind of fill it out so that it looks cute. And then on Friday, I'm not doing Friday right now. I think my brain needs a bit of a break to focus on just other things, because I really don't know what I'm doing all this week. I think it's just going to be a lot of housework, because I really don't think we're going to be leaving or doing much of anything. And I am perfectly fine with that. Kind of like I said in my first video a while back, I am just happy to have a week where there's really not much going on. I appreciate that. And our bunny appreciates that too, because she does. She feels so neglected when we get caught up in what we're doing, and she has her schedule, she likes her schedule, and she expects certain things throughout the day, and if we don't do that, and we don't do it in the time frame that she wants us to, she can be very, very cranky. So at least, I guess at least she has a schedule. Kind of fun. But we try not to stray too far from that. But right now she needs a little TLC so that we can kind of get back to her schedule or create one that she is happy with. Because today I was just trying to get mail ready so I could go to the post office, and she just sat there, and I'm not sure, how much you know about bunnies, but they thump their back legs when they're upset with you, and it's so loud. I cannot even begin to describe how loud that is. And she just kept doing it over and over and over again, and I knew it was because she wanted a treat. But she's been eating her hay, but she prefers kibble. And she's been going for the kibble more and more, and we need her to just eat more of her hay before she gets treats. And she was very, very upset that I did not give her a treat when she wanted it this morning. So I kind of went to the post office and I did some work, and I came back and she had eaten more of her hay, so I gave her one, but boy, was she mad at me. So I do want to try journaling more. This planner is getting so big. It's actually, like, my hand is going off the edge. And then I want to make sure that I'm drinking enough water. And what else did I track last week? Oh, my vitamins. Oh, boy, I stunk at all of that. Can you just look at this tracker from last week? I didn't do hardly anything. So try to get enough water. And if you can hear like yelling or barking or any sort of commotion going on outside, it's just the neighbors, the kids just got home a little while ago. So there's some yelling and festivities outside. I know the dog was barking a little while ago. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. This week, on Friday rather, actually I think it's going to be Saturday, I think in an effort to stay home, we're going to have another cleaning day. I did a lot of cleaning this weekend, just because since my husband and I was outside building the deck and everything, I was trying to make sure that everything was just kind of in order in here. And I got so much done. It felt so nice. I reorganized our kitchen and like our pots and pans and everything. And my husband was so funny. He came inside because I had like done his laundry start to finish. I hung it up and everything. And I normally don't do that. Like, we normally handle our own laundry. And he was like, geez. It's like, maybe I should build something else next weekend. This was nice. So I thought that was really funny. But I want to make sure that I'm cleaning the floors. So I want to vacuum again. I want to go through and dust. I want to take care of my office because I really didn't do that as much as I wanted to. And I want to make sure to kind of switch out or wash this bedding, because I don't normally write that in my planner, but I do want to make a habit of writing that down. Oh, I smudged that a little. Oh well. Just because sometimes if I don't write it down, I forget it and it goes a little bit longer. But we've been pretty good at staying on top of that. On Friday, I'm going to try to make sure that by the end of the day, I'm all caught up on comments and emails and all of my social media stuff. So I want to reply to comments, make sure that my email inbox is empty, social media inboxes. See, I was all excited last week. I had so much to talk about, and I was able to fill the whole video without any sort of issue. And this week I'm just tripping over my words. I do want to put down this to-do list sticker at the bottom for things that I want to get done. But since it was just such a dense, kind of work-filled weekend, we didn't get a lot of the stuff done that we would normally do. So I'm going to put this little guy up here. So I want to put yard work. I want to mow the lawn. I want to check all of our plants. We do want to go to Habitat on Saturday. It's only open one day a week here. So let me write that down while I'm thinking about it. Because they had these little things for the hoses. I'm not even sure what they're called, but you put the hose on it and just kind of wrap it up so it stays all in one place. And I think I want to try to get one of those because it's just being dropped on the ground right now. And it ends up being in a pile that's kind of difficult to work around. So I think I'm going to put that all the way down here and just right till we want to go to Habitat. They just opened up not too long ago. I think their hours this year is 9 to 3, so I'll try to stop by sometime in there to see if they still have those. I recently learned that you have to get there like first thing in the morning because all the stuff that they donate throughout the week, all the good stuff goes first. What else do we want to do? Want to kind of go through and declutter the shed a bit more. And I think that's it. I think that's it for Saturday. Hi everyone, I'm back with part 2. I wasn't exactly sure what our plans were going to be for the rest of the week, and I didn't want to post it as it is, and I didn't want to not post it at all. So I'm going to finish out my plans with all of you. So Thursday, let me get my list. I love these little notepads from the Dollar Tree. They have just been like an absolute joy. I'm gonna go back and get them in all the different colors. But for Thursday, I wanted to mark that it is another late day. I wasn't entirely sure, but it did end up being a late day. So just want to mark that, and then we also needed, well, didn't need, but I wanted to get some stuff for, yeah, I want that here, my Tombow markers. I wanted to get into kind of like the watercolors and stuff like that. So I went and got a water brush from Michaels. And I also got a tile from Lowe's, which I know sounds really silly, but if you get like a regular kitchen tile, then the ink won't bead up when you use it as a palette, and it will if you use it on like a plastic surface. And I know that's not a big deal, but I paid 52 cents for it, and to be able to see the color that I'm laying down, it was worth it for me to do that. So that's what I ended up doing. And today, it's Friday, so I have a package that I'm expecting from Amazon. I think I'm just going to leave this in the corner and not really write anything because I know I'm expecting a package, so it's not a big deal. We're still doing like our kind of fancy dinner night, but I don't know what we're doing, but we're probably going to do a date night, just a little quick coffee date night. So I'm just going to grab my sheets of these, and I am an iced coffee girl through and through, so I really should do like a full sheet of iced coffee for me, but I did want to do that, just kind of mark it. I know it's not important, but I also like to have some memories in my planner, and date nights to me are always just a fun memory. So I also found this little like lawnmower sticker in my collection. I kind of wanted to work it in, but I'm not sure. I'll leave it off for now. But Saturday, I have this little house sticker. Where do I want to work him in? Maybe in this corner up here? Yeah. Because we do want to work on some house stuff. I know it's going to rain this weekend now. I'm hoping not too badly, because we did have all of our stuff moved, so we may end up doing that on Saturday. But I do know that I'm actually just going to leave this off. On Saturday, we do want to go to Ace Hardware, because we have some home stuff that we want to look at. So go to Ace Hardware. We want to go to our local lumber place. We're looking at pavers for our grill that we're going to get, because we don't want to put it on the porch and we don't want to put it directly on the grass. But I'm just going to put pavers, gravel, and we're looking at edging for the driveway, because we're just putting down like a gravel driveway. We're not like paving it or anything, at least not yet. So I'm just going to put this down, and that'll remind me to do that. And then on Sunday we noticed that we have a little dry patch in our yard, so on top of mowing it and like making sure that everything is growing well, I just want to put down to seed the lawn, because we have a whole bag and we only used a little bit of it, and it says to use it within a year. So we can do that. And I think for fun I may end up using this little kind of watering can, just because I like it and I feel like that's an empty... I had my car serviced on Tuesday, which you know, but every time I have it serviced, well, every time, it's been twice, the air pressure light won't turn off, and it just beeps incessantly while I'm driving. I need to go and get the tire pressure sensor reset. And then for this week, I did mark off that I was pretty good with my water. I've been tracking my ounces in another planner, but for here I just kind of check if I did a good job with it. And for me, a good job is if I'm having like at least 4 or 5 glasses, which in our glasses they're like 10 ounces, I think. And I did some journaling yesterday, which I never marked, and I'm still not great with the vitamins. I'm working on it. It's a new thing. But I also want to do clean the cars. I'm wondering if I have another sticker. I think these home stickers might be really cute. Are they a little... Yeah. I'm doing it. I'm coming up with a whole bunch of stickers that I would like to draw just through all of this home improvement stuff. I'm finding that that's the most lacking part of my collection. So I want to make sure that we replace the house numbers, because it's confusing everyone. And then wash cars. I want to make sure that I do the car mats and kind of clean the interior. And that looks like a better kind of layout of the week. I know this is going to seem kind of silly, but I want to have something else kind of over here. So I think next to home, maybe I'm just going to write to do, because I want to tie in more of this. Because I'm already kind of missing in this area, and I want to just do this. And even though I just wrote there, it went over that pretty well, and that really is it. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you didn't mind me doing this in kind of 2 separate parts. And as a quick follow-up to the swatches that I showed the other day, I did some like watercolor swatches, just ones when you're on the palette and you put it on the page, one if you use the marker directly on the page and some water, and one if you use the marker on the page with the blender, and the blender kind of tears up the paper a little bit. And as you can kind of see, it does pretty well. The marker with the water does a bit of shadowing that you can see. But that's it. So thank you guys for, well, planning with me, and I'll see you next week. Bye.